Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. I'm here in the nuclear processing area where I've made a few changes that I want to go over with you. You probably remember that in the past, what I was doing is I was making fuel cells using this recipe here, which would take one piece of plutonium, 9 pieces of uranium-238, and turn it into uranium fuel cells. And then I was also using the standard fuel cell recipe, which is this one, which takes uranium and uranium-238 and makes fuel cells. So I was using both of those. Of course, once I used up all the plutonium fuel cells that I had, then this second recipe was only coming into play when I got a piece of plutonium from the nuclear fuel reprocessing, which was a 25% chance. So essentially, I would have to use up, let's say, 4 cycles. On average, every 4 cycles, I should get one. So I would have to use up 20 uranium fuel cells, and then I would get a piece of plutonium that I could use to make 10 more. So I was essentially getting back about half of what I was consuming, if you think of it that way. One thing I wasn't doing, though, was making more plutonium fuel cells, which are these. And I remember reading in the documentation for this nuclear fuel mod that they call these breeder fuel cells, and I should have paid a little more attention to it, because here's what happens. I use 1 piece of plutonium and I get 10 fuel cells. Okay. When I reprocess the used fuel cells, I get 2 back for every 5 used fuel cells. All right. So remember here, I can make 10 with 1 piece of plutonium. And then from those 10, I'm going to get 4 plutonium back. Right? Because I get 2 plutonium for every 5 used fuel cells. And I'll get 10 used fuel cells from 1 piece of plutonium. So I'm essentially multiplying. The more I use this, I am essentially multiplying the amount of plutonium that I get, and then I can turn that into more fuel cells. Now, the plutonium fuel cells only last half as long as the uranium fuel cells, but that's not a big deal. And then the other thing is that I also get a chance to make a piece of uranium-235, which I have here. And that's a 50% chance. So essentially for every plutonium, or for every cycle of plutonium fuel cells that I produce, I'm going to get 4 more pieces of plutonium and a piece of uranium. Okay, which means that once I get this started, I really don't need any uranium-235 from my uranium processing at all, because I'll be able to make as much fuel as I want. And the faster I use it, the more power I produce, the more fuel cells I'm going to be making. See, look, I just got 2 more pieces of uranium-235. Okay, now the good thing about this is it consumes 19 pieces of uranium-238, which, as you can see, I have a ton of. So what I did down here is I turned this off so that this will only make more uranium-238 if I have less, or it'll only take more uranium-238 if I have less than 32,000 of it, which is essentially 1 silo full. And that's still a ridiculous amount. So I really don't need to run this process. I won't need to run this process for quite a long time to come. And I'll be able to get all the radioactive stuff, either the 235 or the 230 or the plutonium. The more of it that I use, the more of it I can make. So that's why this kind of replaces the Covarex enrichment process, which you can use to also to make as much plutonium as you want, or uranium-235, I should say. Okay, and then over here, I wanted to set it up so that I start requesting plutonium for the reactors instead of uranium. So what I did is I hooked all the requester chests up to a circuit, right? And I just put the mode of operation to set requests. These are all using plutonium now. And here I'm showing my plutonium level, and here I'm showing my uranium level, how many fuel cells I have in the system. So I made a little circuit here. What I did is I just said that if plutonium fuel is equal to 0, so in other words, if I run out of plutonium fuel cells for some reason, then it will switch to uranium fuel cells, which I have 20,000 of. Otherwise, if plutonium fuel cell is greater than 0, then I'm going to output plutonium fuel cell as 1. These are both on the same circuit. And then these feed into the input of this, and then I just multiply that value by 5. So that way whichever type of fuel cell is being requested, it'll put a request for 5 of them in each of these chests. Okay, so if I ever run out of plutonium fuel cells, I'll start to use uranium fuel cells as a backup. And I've got a ton of those too. Now the other thing is, if you were, if I was playing with biters, and I wanted to have nuclear weapons or uranium ammo, then this would be a good use for the uranium. In this case, I'm just going to be essentially stockpiling it. Okay, and then, so this is the one that's making the uranium fuel cells, but what I did is I put a limiter on the output, so it'll stop when I have more than 10,000, and this one will stop when I have more than 10,000, but that'll be quite a long time. And then I'm trying to reduce the amount of stuff that I have in storage over here. So I've got all this, and then all of these silos, I closed off all of the, what do you call it? I closed off all the inventory slots so that no more gets put into these. And then it'll just get taken out of this one. Or any new uranium-238 will go into this one. But actually, now that I think about it, I don't need to do that because I'm not creating any more uranium-238 right now. So nothing will be going in. It'll just be coming out. So once we get down to 32,000 or less, I'll just consolidate it all into one silo and then get rid of the rest of them. And then over here, I just set up some storage chests. And I set the logistic filter on these chests, which you can use to tell the robots what you want to go in each type of chest. Right, so I just set this up to just to keep it organized. And then, of course, I still have all of these, which I don't know, someday I'll use them up. How much do I have in there? I have 10,000. Let's just do this. I still got a bunch. Okay, one more. Great. Now we get rid of that silo. Now, why is this better than a silo? I don't know. It's not really. But the silos don't have that logistic filter on it. So you can't tell the silos what you want to have stored there. That's the advantage of the vanilla chests. Okay, so I think for the rest of the game, we'll most likely just be running on plutonium fuel cells because I can't see any reason why these would run out. Yeah, I can't see any reason why they would run out. Now, because I have so much uranium-238 stored up, I won't need to run this for a long time. I won't need to mine more uranium for a long time. But eventually the levels of 238 will start to drop. And I'm curious to see how this runs when I'm producing, when I'm running from raw uranium ore. I'm interested to see how all the ratios work out. Like if I start to run low on uranium-238, for example, in comparison with the radioactive stuff, then I might have to go to this recipe, which would use less. Like this is like a way to convert your plutonium back into uranium, I think, because this makes uranium fuel cells. And when you oh no, that's going to go back to plutonium too when you reprocess it. So yeah, so I think plutonium is the way to go here. Okay, so that was a lot of talk for that. What else did I do? Oh, the other thing that I did is on the new smelting line, I switched to substations instead of electrical poles, and I like this. It looks a lot cleaner. I had to just throw in some underground belts here and there to make space. But I like the way that this is laid out. Okay. So, enough of that. What's next? I suppose we need to get started making these other science packs. First, let me see how we're doing on the research here. Okay, I'm almost out of space science. So why don't we let's go to the rocket silo and set that up to start launching a few more rockets so that we can have enough space science to keep slowly plugging away at mining productivity. The next level is going to be 2,000 science packs, which is still not a whole lot. Robot speed needs 4. So once I get into the end game, the way that I usually do it is I just research between mining productivity and robot speed, and I do whichever one is cheaper, and I just keep going. Which usually means I'm going to do 10 or 15 levels of mining, and then I'll do another level of robots, because the robot doubles every level, whereas mining productivity just adds 100 every level, so it scales much more slowly. Okay, so to get the rocket launches going again, all I have to do is rotate that inserter so that the satellites go in. Actually, I can get rid of that one, since the only other thing I'm going to need to launch is the faster than light system. So I'll wait for these science packs to show up. Hey, give me those. Okay, and then I'll take these back to the main base. And then we'll start planning the other science packs that we're going to need. I haven't noticed any traffic problems for a long time, so I think getting the 282s out of this depot was a good move. That seems to have taken care of that issue for me. Okay. Oh yeah, science packs. There we go. I'll just put them in the active provider chest. We'll get rid of some of this other stuff that I don't need. Okay. All right. So let's plan out the production science packs. Okay, so this one again, we're going to need 1,000 per minute. let's change it to per minute. There we go. Okay, and as usual, we're going to load it with modules. We'll surround it with speed beacons like we have in the other areas. Okay, let's do the next one. 2000. So that's going to use all the space science that I just made. Okay, so we're going to need 11 machines. And that's going to take electric engines and electric furnaces. Okay, so electric furnace, we cannot use productivity modules, so I'll just put in 4 speed modules. And I like that because that gives me a precise number. We could do 12, or we could do 8, so we'll get it down to 8. The cycle time on those is normally 5 seconds, so this will be, something close to a second, I suppose. All right, so that just needs steel, red circuits, and then we need stone brick, which we're not currently producing anywhere, so we'll have to set up a brick smelting factory. How many modules are we doing? Each one is affected by, if you look over number of effect sources, see where it says 10? That includes the modules in the machine and any beacons. So 10, if I subtract the 2 productivity modules, that means 8 beacons on that. That's an easy way to check it if you ever need to do that. All right, so let's put 8 beacons with speed. All right, so we're going to need 18 machines making stone brick. So we'll have to set up someplace to do that. I do have a stone mine, so I'll probably just set it up there. Okay, so that takes care of the electric furnaces. Electric engines are going to be a little more difficult. We did those for... Where did we do? I thought we were doing electric engines. I thought we were doing that already somewhere. Weren't we doing electric engines here? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so in this case, does the purple give me 2 per cycle? Yeah, the purple gives me 2 per cycle, so I'm going to need half as many electric engines on this one as I did in the other. All right, so this one we can use modules. And we'll surround those with beacons since they're relatively slow. All right, so that means we're going to need 6 of them. And I think we'll need the same quantity of the regular engines. No. That's interesting. Why is that? Oh, it's because I get another layer of productivity on the output of the electric engines. So I need fewer regular engines. That's why. Okay, and then we're going to need gears. If I surround the gears with 12 beacons, I'm going to need 0.2 machines. Okay, what if we just do 4 beacons? What if we do 1 beacon? Then we need 1 machine. What if we did this? Okay. Yeah, so we'll just do one machine with 3 productivity and 1 speed inside of it. All right, and then for pipes, I think the pipes are double. Okay, and if I do 3 speed modules, then I can do it with 1 machine on the pipes. Okay, and I think that's everything. So we're going to be bringing in iron, lubricant, red and green circuits. I'm not going to bring in stone. I'm going to bring in stone brick. We'll do the, well, yeah, you know what? Maybe I can just do the stone brick there, because I don't think I need it anywhere else. Yeah, I'll do the stone brick in the production science production area. And we'll bring in stone. Okay, so speaking of the stone, where was my stone mine? Here it is. Yeah, see, I already have a stone mine set up. It hasn't done anything for a very long time, but it is there. Okay, so let's decide where we want to make the purple science. What if we made it right here? Whoa, what is that big train doing in Depot 2? I don't think so, senor. I'm going to reset this. And I want you to go to Depot 3. But I better make sure I have enough slots at Depot 3. I think I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slots. Okay, so I'm good there. I thought I had checked that. Let's see if there's any other large trains. No, doesn't appear to be. Okay. All right. We could put it right here. Yeah, let's put it there. Why not? I don't see any reason not to do that. I'm going to drive over there manually since it's relatively close by. Keeping my eye on the mini-map so I can see if there are any other trains coming. Oops. Didn't want to go there. And I didn't want to go there. Left. There we go. Oh, and look at that. There's stone right here. So I'll mine the stone from here and make it on this side of the tracks and then just move it over. And that'll be one less train that I have to have running around the map. Uh-oh. All right, I didn't want to do that. And this is why. It's going to mess up my... It's going to mess up my other intersection up here. Got an extra piece of track there. And it was waiting for a long time to get blueprinted. Okay. So let's start with the stone mining. That should take care of this entire forest. No problem. Okay, I need mining drills. How many mining drills do I need? 50. Let's get 100. And I need to go to the module factory too, because I am running low. Oh, and I also need furnaces, don't I? Here are the modules. All right, let's go back and get a stack of furnaces. All right, thank you very much. Okay, 34 is enough. I can live with that. Okay. So for this much stone brick, I need 5,953 stone per minute. Okay. 6,000 per minute divided by 60. That's 100 per second. I could have done that in my head. 100 per second is 3 blue belts. That seems like an awful lot. I don't think I can get 3 full blue belts. Am I missing something here? Well, no, that makes sense because it's 5 stone. Each one takes 5 pieces of stone, right? 2. Okay, well, let's just, we'll just tap this patch to the fullest extent. And we'll see what we can get. Now, one thing I can do to help the throughput is I can do them like this. All right, now how much is this going to give me? It won't say. Wonderful. Yeah, with my... All right, I'll just use blue belts, I guess, for everything. Or no, that's fine. We'll do it like this. All right, and then what we can do is, you know, we need a power pole every 3. All right, and then we can just do underground belts like that. Oh, nice. Okay. What in God's name am I doing? I can't do that. What about these drills? Okay, let's try this again. All right, so we can't put these right in the middle, obviously. We'll have to do them like this. Okay. All right. Yeah, so we can do it like this. then this one, I'll just go around it. Okay. There. Okay, so what does this get me? This lets me pack in more mining drills in the same amount of space, which means I'll get the stone out faster. I'll also deplete the mine more quickly, but I don't really care about that because I can just travel a little bit farther and I'll get another one. What the heck is that? Oh, Blueprint Deployer. That's that mod that I got and never learned how to use. And for some reason it didn't pick up my power poles. I guess I didn't have them selected. Okay, here we go. Whenever you're ready. Okay. So we'll rename that Stone 2. And then you have to exit this before you can move again. There we go. That's 100 mining drills already. It doesn't look like 100 mining drills. But I guess the numbers don't lie. Get rid of the stone, get rid of the wood. And give me many more mining drills, please. Oh, okay, I got them already. Didn't see him there. Okay. So I'll put all the drills down first, and then we can fairly easily copy paste the power poles and the belts. Okay, and then we just trim off the parts we don't need. Okay, that looks good. Let's power it up. See what we get. Okay, and we're missing one power pole there. Great. And this one, now this one I think I'll just merge down to join that belt there. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so do I have a 6-to-3 balancer? No, I do not. Oh, I know how we can do 6-to-3. Like this. There. Well, no, that's not really 6-to-3, is it? Because they won't be balanced. But if I have a 6-to-6, I could do a 6-to-6 and then put that at the end. There we go. Now this will balance. Okay, and then we upgrade. All right, and then on the output, I'm just going to use 1 from each splitter, and that's 6-to-3. Okay, so let's start running belts. What are we complaining about? No electronic circuits and no petroleum gas. Why don't we have electronic circuits? I've got 60,000, so that doesn't make sense. The green ones are electronic circuits, right? Yeah. Maybe there was a train that was already there or something. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. Now we're going to need 18.5. Right. So let's just make it 21. I'll do 3 rows of 7. Oops. Okay, 1, 2. There we go. And 1, 2. You know what? What if I did these with 12 beacons each? Then I only need 13. Let's try that. I'd have to make it 15. No, I'll just do it this way. All right. Productivity, speed, all right, let's put some stone in it so we know what it's making. All right, so each one of these per second, I think, fast inserters. Yeah, fast inserter in and fast inserter out. Theoretically is fast enough. Okay. Let's see, on the output, 3,572. Oh, I know what I can do. No, that's not right. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Something's not right here. 3,572 per minute. Oh, I know what the problem is. It's only reading that first machine. If you don't have anything in it, then it doesn't know what you want to make, and it doesn't. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so we can have 3 red belts on the output, but I'll just do blue just so they don't get congested. Yeah, and then 1 blue belt on the input. Okay, and then we'll power these up with substations. Okay, let's copy that, and I'll take out the substations just so I can figure out how to do them with the minimal quantity. Okay, that's all powered up. Okay, and then we need to make every other one a near inserter. Whoops. Shift N, Shift N, Shift N, Shift N, Shift N, Shift N, and then I'll put that one on a near one as well. Okay, and then let's do a 3-to-3 balancer on the output, if such a thing exists. Yes, it does. And we upgrade it. Okay, we're going to need an underground belt there. I think everything else is all set. All right. That one's going to go there. That one goes there. Oh, you know what? Let's go there instead, so it's symmetrical. Oh, so close. There we go. There. That cleans it up pretty nicely. All right. Now I may need to put a train station there. We'll see. But at least now we're making stone brick. We've got 21 furnaces, which is far more than we actually need. All right, so let's just go ahead and remove that from the list since we've got that done. So in the next episode, we will work on building up the rest of this. We'll be setting up the stations for the steel, the circuits, and the iron, and then working on the production of the items we need. Until then, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.